What do we have here? Why, it's another Makita 40v XGT tool review, this one being the reciprocating saw. I've done a lot of 40v reviews for the Makita stuff. Check it out down below in the description, including the model numbers for them all and links to the other videos, all that sort of stuff, where to buy them. Have a look down in the description. Let's get into it. While I tell you all about this tool, we will compare it to its predecessor, the 36v 18v by 2 Makita reciprocating saw. And it looks something like this. As you can see, they look very similar in size. If you count the shoe, they are basically the same, except the 40v battery sticks out the back a bit more. If you have the 2.5, won't stick out quite as much, but I've got the 4 amp hour on it. The 40v is the tool on the left. When you look at these two tools side by side, you can see some differences where Makita have learnt from this model and improved for this model, or perhaps improved. First, we'll just look at what's the same. The trigger type area is the same with the first and second speeds and the lock in the middle. This is the 18 by 2, and as you can see, the 40v is the same. They have removed the TPE overmolding from this point here on the tool, which is a good idea because they've got this stupid little strip here, and as you can see, it just pings out. Somehow I've managed to keep it on the tool. It hasn't completely torn off. The rafter hooks are basically identical. This one, however, though, is black and slightly thinner gauged material. I can't check the weights right at this moment because we're in lockdown and the battery has just died on the scales, so I'm not 100% sure which one weighs the most, although holding them kinda a giveaway, and I'm thinking that the old one weighs a little more than the new one. But to be 100% sure on the weights, we will have to wait until I can get a battery. See that here's a little play of words there. Classic stuff. Where the batteries go on, there is no mitigation for vibration on this one, whereas this tool has this funny looking bit, almost like it was added on later as an afterthought, as if this was the 18v tool and they've just added on this bit to hold the 40v battery instead. But it does actually move around a little bit as well. It's a bit hard to see on the camera, but it's a little bit of vibration mitigation there for the battery. Vibration wise, overall, they're pretty damn similar. If anything, I would have said this one was slightly more vibratey. For most of this video, I will be referring to this as the 40v and this as the 18v, just because it's easier for differentiation, seeing as they're both 36v tools. I know this is going to cause mental anguish for some of you. Please bear with me. They both come with an adjustable shoe that requires no tools. However, I know some of you will now be yelling at the screen because a lot of you in North America, I think it was, got these without the adjustment. The first batch of them that came out in America, I think it was America, didn't have the tool-free adjustment. Now, as for the tool-free adjustment on the 36v one, as you can see, a bit rattly on it. Not the greatest design. They have improved markedly on this one, and there is little movement on this one. It's a similar sort of latch system, but a bit smaller. So this is where I had it for the tests, and the maximum mark is marked there, so you have it about there. That's as far out as the shoe goes, but much sturdier when it is locked in. Still a little bit of vibration though. This one clicks through each motion. And I think you can click it right out there. Yeah, you can. So this one, slightly different. You can have it all the way out there. But as you can see, the shaft that drives the blade actually sticks out quite a bit from the end of the actual saw. Whereas the new model doesn't stick out at all, just a whisker. So that's kind of good on a safety front, but that means you have to have a different way of inserting the blades. I like the system on the old reciprocating saw. As you can see, I've taken the shoe off just to make it better view for the camera. You'd put the blade in, bang, clicks in, easy, do it like that, pops out, in, bang, out, in, out. Dead simple. Although a little bit tricky sometimes with the shoe in the way and if this is in too far. So I'm guessing that's why they modified the thing. Plus this easily gets damaged, and once that's completely damaged, much harder to get the blade in and out. Having a look at the 40 volt, once again I have removed the shoe and they've tried to go with the same system. But instead of controlling it from the end, because this stays inside, you control it on the side. Now, same theory, you push the blade in and it locks in. Except, it takes so much pressure to push it in that you're likely to cut yourself or something. Then when you release it, pull up the side, and same as the other one, it fires it out. The main problem I'm having with this one is, after you do release it, it doesn't always catch to make it easy for you to put it in the next time. It may loosen up and come right, but it's A, hard to get in, like that, and B, you go like that, it doesn't always, see this is coming back? You see that on there? So now if I try and put it in, it won't go in at all. You've got to make sure you push it right up to the top until it clicks. And then, yeah, still really tight. So if you do it just to the point where it releases and then let go, you won't be able to pop it in the next time without pushing this up again. So you have to push it right up every time. The other issue I have is sometimes it's jamming. It's getting shit in here already, just in the few times I've used it. Not too difficult for shmoo to get in there, and then, you know, bit of schwarf or a bit of dust, sawdust, and this is going to jam. As it was earlier, but won't now do on camera, of course. So I like the idea of what they've done here, but I'm not sure the implementation has really been good enough, which is a shame. There is, of course, a light on the 40 volt. It's a bit bigger and brighter and underneath the blade, whereas it was above the blade on the previous model. They are rated the same in terms of length of stroke, both at 32mm and at the strokes per minute, with both models doing up to 2300 strokes on the lower speed and 3000 on the higher speed. Seeing as I can't weigh it, I have looked, and Makita say this model is 4 kgs without the batteries. This one is 4.2, but this battery is 1 kg, these two put together are 1.2. So with that, we can surmise basically exactly the same way. But is there any advantage in speed? Well, Makita say that this will cut 35% quicker through timber than this, and about 10% quicker through metal. Why the difference? Why 35 in wood and 10 in metal? Maybe due to the fact that you should cut in the lower speed for metal and the higher speed can be used for wood. It certainly didn't feel 35% quicker cutting through wood. I'll have to look at the footage. I'd say it was a little bit quicker, but not much. This is a piece of poplar. It is 150 millimeters in diameter. It was cut down almost a year ago, so it's not going to be super soft anymore. So that was a good vibration test, and I'm not impressed with the 40 volt. This next test is cutting on the lowest setting on each saw. This cut is on the highest setting. This is going to be my last test to see if the new 40 volt is 35% quicker or not. I don't have a pair of blades left, unfortunately, that have both not been used, but this one's only cut one bit of wood, and to make it fair I'll put that in the 40 volt, I'll put this in the 18x2, and let's see if the 40 volt is going to smash it or not. 18, 40. 40, 18. So a lot of that might have been down to my hand. So here we go. We're on the highest setting, the 40 volt. 3 cut. volt, highest setting, 3 cuts. Okay, I can definitely feel it there. I'm going to try and stall it. The highest setting. It's the 18 volt. Stall test, 40 volt. 40, 18. Wasn't 35%. Slowest speed this time, 40, 18, and lock and load. 18, 40. As you can see, I'm not as good holding it with my left hand. 40 volt, low speed. Volt, low speed. 40 volt, low speed. Yeah, look at that. Damn rain. Well, I'd basically finished that test anyway. Yeah, I know, mate. Right, which is better? Is it worth buying the 40 volt, or should you stick with your 36 volt 18x2? This is a bit of a tricky one, guys. It's not as clear cut as the previous 3 tests. The circular saw, I would keep the 40. The angle grinder and the drill are both upgrades from 18 volt tools, so they absolutely smashed the 18 volt counterparts. I would definitely keep the 40s on those. But as for this, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. This can cut faster through wood. 35% faster is maybe a little optimistic, Makita, but It definitely can cut faster through wood, but I'm not sure I preferred using it. This one I'm much more used to, of course, so that makes it a little bit hard to test. This certainly, you didn't pick it up and go, wow, that's so much better or anything. This I preferred for cutting metal. I've had a few issues with this one cutting metal. With it, it doesn't like doing it at high speed. It cuts out, it jams a lot. I've found this one is much nicer for getting cuts started. It's much nicer on metal, particularly for getting started. This one on steel, but also on timber, it jams and bounces around a lot when you start. If you just want to go bang straight into it, this one does not cope with that sort of cutting very well. This one you can. This one you need to ease into things a bit more. I'm still not convinced about this. The vibrations seem very high on this, certainly no better than this. When you push down really hard, you can feel that this maintains the stroke rate probably a bit better than this one. But most of those tests I was pushing pretty damn hard, unnecessarily hard, not the way you would use it in a real life application. So I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Let's have a look at battery life there. So that's only just from today though, of course. So they're all down 1 bar. If you've got one of these, let me know what you think. If you've got one of these, let me know what you think. If you've got both of them, let me know which one you prefer. I'm not sure. Which one will I keep? I do not know. It's a tricky one. It's definitely a tricky one. If I was cutting metal all the time, I would keep this one. If I'm cutting wood all the time, I would keep this one. But seeing as I use them for both, although probably more inclined towards timber, who knows? Who knows? Sorry, I can't come up with anything a bit more conclusive than that. So I guess I'll see you on the next one in a few days' time. Still a few more 40 volt tools to come. If you haven't already, remember to subscribe so you don't miss any of them. There'll be more details down in the description for all these things, other links to the other 40 volt reviews, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys. Bloody hell, that was pretty good. Can't complain of that.